Hey, how's it going, everyone? Bearded Dolphin here. Today, I'm going to take you all through my Abyss team. So my Abyss team hits for around 65, 66K on auto. So up until yesterday, I've been able to hit 60K comfortably for a while. When I say comfortably, I mean hovering between like 60 and 62K. That said, it wasn't a guaranteed auto, which means I would have to restart it sometimes, or like I'd basically have to babysit it to make sure something didn't go wrong. And I had a couple days where I just let it auto and I didn't get the 60K because someone died or I don't know, something happened. So basically, I wanted to switch up my comp and see if I could get a more comfortable 60K run that I would feel comfortable autoing. I know there's like a lot of videos on Abyss and different people's runs, but I figured I would give a stab at it myself and show you all my comp. So before I was running in SO/Watcher comp. So instead of Morden as a DPS, I had Ingrid as an additional magic DPS. And then I had, who was my tank? I had Ares as my tank. So while that team worked really well, like that was the first team that I was ever able to hit 60K with, I wanted to polish it up a little bit. Basically, the addition of Morden to the team is what did this for me. To give you some context on why it makes more sense to have an extra physical fighter like Morden versus like another amazing magic DPS is because one, your physical damage dealers are going to do more damage, like your Kagiri, your Wukong, and Morden actually does a crap ton of damage in Abyss. But the other thing is you're not going to get as many magic phases. And the reason for that is the final third physical shield. Most people are not going to be able to break that. And so the goal is to basically make sure you can break through that second magic shield. But then outside of that, you just want to maximize as much physical damage as possible. So that's kind of why I switched the comp up like this. I'll show the gear and everything at the end, but I'm just going to run through it. I'll show you my placements. I'll talk about timings a little bit and how I do it. Other than that, feel free to let me know if you have questions in the comments. Happy to help in any way I can. All right, so here we are, guys. So I'm going to skip this. I'm going to immediately pause. All right, so the first person I'm going to place is Kagiri. I am going to place him right here. Next, I'm going to place Diao Chan on this top tile. I'm going to instantly press her to switch her to her inspiration mode. Next, I'm going to place Wukong. I'm going to place him in the top left facing right. Then I'm going to place, what's her name? Aylin. And then next, I'm going to place Morden. Place him in this kind of like middle tile next to Kagiri. Next, I'm going to place Narissa. As far as the order of these placements, I'm doing it based on trying to give everyone invigoration boost. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton of, Wings of Grace sets that are like really, really good as far as the substats. So I get better stats overall running invigoration at this point. But yeah, if you have Wings of Grace, of course, that's going to be better. So next, I'm going to place Narissa. I'll place Vorn. Doesn't really matter at the end here. I almost put him on the wrong tile. Vorn. Nastia. Torador. I'm going to hit. Basically, you want to hit the ults for... what's her name? Sorry, this is kind of happening fast. But you want to hit the ult for Numera as soon as you can, just for Soulbound Arcana. Like, she's not going to do any damage because it's the physical phase. But you want to try to get an ult out of Kagiri before he does that first hit, right? Just to get some early damage out. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hit Wukong as soon as he's up. I'll hit Aylin just for some more Soulbound stuff. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit Morden now around 603. And that should be decent timing to get through the shield and then also to do damage and vulnerability. So I'm going to slow it down here. I have Kagiri clicked. I'll show you what you want to wait for. So this hit is going to hit here. And then after that hit, you're going to have these orbs that come down. Once you see those orbs coming down, that's when you want to click Kagiri right now. And that's how you get the perfect timing on to break that shield like super fast. And now I'm gonna hit Wukong, so I get his ult in the when the boss is vulnerable. And then what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for it to tell me that it's switching phases. And once that happens, I'm gonna click Numera. So the reason I click Numera right when it says the dragon is going to be promoted is because right when you see that text, it means that the phase has shifted. I know it still looks like it's in the physical phase, but it's not. It's switched to magic, which means Numera is going to actually be putting out some good damage here. Clicking Wukong, just because why not? As soon as Morden's ready to ult, I will move him over here to the right and I'll face him down. The reason I do that is because, one, he's not going to do any damage in this phase, and two, this will help him to like charge up, right, for the next physical phase. I like to hit Aelin as this part's going down, but I'm a little late here. It's okay, though. As soon as Numera has her ult back, I'm going to hit it again. All right. I'll go ahead and hit Torador as well. Now we have the Meteoric Deluge coming in, the big hit. Again, I'm going to pause for Kagiri because I have to make sure that I parry this. Hit it now. And then once this shield comes up, I'm going to hit Narissa. Right now. I'm saving Numera because I like to get her whole ult in the vulnerability. I feel like that was helping to maximize my damage, especially if I don't need it to break the shield. Now, again, what I'm doing is I'm waiting, once again, I'm waiting for that text to come up that he's switching phases. Right when the text comes up that the phases are switching, I'm going to press Wukong and Kagiri. If you press Kagiri right when the phase switches, he'll get a parry, like right when you click the ult. So that's why you want to do it right when that text pops up. All right, here we go, waiting for the text. As you can see, he got the quick parry. I'm going to hit Wukong as well. And then I'll probably go ahead and switch Morden. And I'll go ahead and put Morden in as well to start doing some damage. You can see we're at 30k. We're doing pretty good right now. Go ahead and hit Aelin. I am going to hit Kagiri and Wukong again. Now, depending on how strong your gear and stuff is, you might not be able to afford to hit Kagiri and Wukong. You might need their ults to help break this shield. I don't, fortunately. So that's why I popped them early. Pop Torador. Now, again, though, if you do need them to break the shield, wait for the orbs, kind of like what we did on the first phase for Kagiri. I might pop someone here to help get the shield all the way down if I need to, but I don't think I will. Yeah, I definitely won't need it. I'll be good. I messed up Kagiri's timing there, so he's not going to get the damage that he should have gotten there, but it's okay. I'll still get the 60k. I'm not worried about it. And just in case y'all didn't notice, I popped Numera again right when the text came up. I'll go ahead and pop Aelin. Get some good healing down. Gonna pop Numera. And then we're about to have another meteoric deluge or strike come down. Pop Torador. And then pop Kagiri. And then Narissa right when the shield comes up. I'll go ahead and pop it now. This is the one where I kind of have to watch this one because this can be sketch sometimes. With Ingrid, it was like not a problem at all to break this shield down, but it's been proving to be a little bit sketchier without Ingrid, of course, because she does a lot of magic damage. But it's okay. Again, we're waiting for the text, and we're going to pop Kagiri and Wukong. And again, I messed up the freaking Kagiri timing. So just so you guys know, you gotta hit Kagiri like right when you see that text. So this is a little bit scuffed, but it's still gonna work like really well. I'm still gonna get 60k comfortably here. But this is what I meant at the beginning is I'm not gonna break this next shield. So the goal now is to just maximize as much damage as possible before the shield. Like I'm going to die on this shield. It's better to just accept it. And so just get as much damage as you possibly can leading into that shield. So you can see we hit like 64k. You know, if I had probably timed Kagiri better, I would have definitely gotten more damage. Of course, you can probably tighten up Morden timings a little bit. If you have Morden awakened A3, you can move him earlier because he'll get ults back faster. He gets faster rage. I could have popped him and just to see what happens, but I decided to just let it go there. But all right, so we got 64k. I'll go ahead and show you the damage. This is what we're looking like on the damage. Morden, as you can see, is a beast. He's not as good as like A5 Wukong or Kagiri, but I mean, I have him A1. So considering the awakening difference, Morden's pretty dang good. And I feel like if you have him higher awakening, like if you had him A3, he would be, you know, he'd be competing with these guys, which is nuts. All right, now real quick, I'm going to take you guys through the gear. So first we have Nastia. I run her in Tear of Twilight. And then for the sets, I have Wicked Vengeance on left side, and then I have Hell's Lament on the right side. I also have her exclusive SO ring as well. Gives her a little bit extra rage, which is nice. Next, we have Numera. I have her in a Soulbound Arcana set. You can see her stats on the left side here. Then we have Narissa. I'm running her in Invigoration. As I mentioned, if you have Wings of Grace and you have good enough stats, probably better to run that than Invigoration, but this is how I kind of hit the stats that I wanted to hit. High attack speed, decent healing effect, high attack, and then, you know, some HP for sure. Next, I have Vorn. I have Vorn just in a Soulbound Arcana set. He doesn't do like a ridiculous amount of damage. I mean, my build could 100% be better on this guy. Really, the main thing I like about Vorn for Abyss is the shield break ability that he has that helps everyone else do more damage to the shield. So that's like the biggest reason that he's in the comp. He also just like really enables the poison comp in general. He puts out a ton of poisons. Next, I have Diao Chan. I do have her A3. It's not required by any means. You can absolutely still get 60k with this team. Without Diao Chan being A3, I was getting 60k when I only had her A1, I believe. Of course, her A2 and then her A3 are both pretty impactful, but not required. For her, you literally just want to focus on attack, like as much attack as possible, and then try to get some HP substats if possible as well. But you really don't need to worry about attack speed, healing effect. You don't need to worry about that stuff. Next, we have Torador. I just stacked as much HP as I possibly could on this guy, and then I'm running him in a morale set just to bring extra damage for the rest of the team. If you don't have good enough stats on like HP for a morale set, then run, you know, whatever like your standard tank set would be for him. That should be fine. But again, extra damage is nice, especially if you're like right on the cusp and you're trying to push into a next, you know, personal best. Now for the physical fighters, that's probably where I have the best gear. So here's Sun Wukong's gear. Wicked Vengeance on the left, Cataclysm on the right, and then I am running a Watchguard exclusive ring for him that gives him 8% extra damage. I do think this is the best type of build to run for him, Cataclysm with Watcher exclusive if you can. Next we have Morden. I only have his artifact at level 10, unfortunately, but he's still a beast. And I'm running a Cataclysm / Wicked Vengeance set on him as well. For the ring, I'm running an Esso ring on him. It just helps him get his ult back faster. You don't need to run an Esso ring on this guy. Nightmare ring might be pretty decent as well, or again, you don't have to. You could also run like a soulbound set. If you have a good Cataclysm set, that's great. Next we have Kagiri. So for Kagiri, I'm also running a mix of Wicked Vengeance and Cataclysm for him as well. And then I also have a Watcher ring on Kagiri, and you can see all the stats on the left side here. And then finally, last but not least, we have Aylin, running her with a Taya's Bomb, and then again, Invigoration set, 31k HP, 16k attack, decently high attack speed. Her healing effect is actually trash. I just noticed this. I probably should get her healing effect up. Don't do this. Make her healing effect higher, guys. All right, so overall, I hope that helped you guys. My advice for maximizing Abyss score is to scale back your magic damage and scale up the amount of physical damage that you have. That's what helped my run get more consistent. So what do I mean by that? I don't mean that you should not have magic damage. You absolutely need magic damage because you have to break those first 2 shield rounds, and those are they're not easy to break. That said, I would play around with your account and with your comp and see if maybe you could take out 1 magic DPS and still get away with breaking that second shield. Because if you can, you're going to do better having more physical DPS because you're going to have more physical phases that you get. And so for me, for my account, that looked like taking out Ingrid and having Morden in the comp instead. And that worked out better because I was able to maximize the blood and I didn't necessarily need Ingrid, right? Because I could still break those shields without her and just with Nastia, Numera, and Vorn. Other than that, though, the only other takeaway and thing that I think is really helpful are your Kagiri timings. You could see that I messed up a couple there, but really the key to this is trying to get your Kagiri timings down. If you can time and get those perfect parries, then it's going to boost your damage quite a bit. All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all found this helpful. It is a bit hard to talk about every little last thing while you're like in the midst of the fight. So if there's anything that wasn't clear, anything confusing that I did, feel free to drop your questions in the comments and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. In addition to questions, if I'm doing something that you think is stupid and that I need to fix in my own run, feel free to let me know too. I am wrong about things sometimes. I don't know everything about this game, so maybe you see that I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing. Feel free to let me know if you have advice as well. Either way, I really appreciate you tuning in, and until next time, I'll see you guys.